Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Rodriguez Reviews / Real Rap Entertainment. I am Javier. Thank you so much for tuning in, and today we're going to be talking about The Smashing Machine. The Smashing Machine is written and directed by Benny Safdie and stars The Rock and Emily Blunt. So let's talk about it. So The Smashing Machine is a biographical film on MMA fighter Mark Kerr. Mark Kerr was an MMA fighter in the late 90s to mid 2000s. HBO, they did a documentary on him called The Smashing Machine back in 2002. And the film basically touches on the peak of Mark Kerr's career, his personal struggles, and his relationship with his girlfriend Dawn. So let's kind of dive into it. I have to say, The Rock in this movie, he does a phenomenal job as Mark Kerr. And by the way, if you can't tell, I am rocking the Rock t-shirt. I am a big Rock fan. From him, his time in WWE, to his time as a big bona fide movie star. And throughout The Rock's career, The Rock has been acting for over 20 years now. His first film was back in 2001 with The Mummy Returns. And The Rock, when we saw him first acting a lot of his movies were either big blockbuster action films or comedies. And The Rock, don't get me wrong, he's great in all those films, but The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, he tried something new with doing a dramatic film in The Smashing Machine. And The Rock, he just gives such a great dynamite performance in this film. He really embodies Mark Kerr so perfectly. I mean, The Rock, he just gives it all, and he really shines bright in this film. And I think, honestly, in my opinion, this is one of Dwayne Johnson's best performances so far of his career, and he's been acting for 20 plus years. He really brings a lot of heart and soul, and you could tell he's really passionate about this film. And Mark Kerr, I don't know too much about Mark Kerr or too much about the UFC, if I'm being quite honest, but what drew me to watching this movie is Dwayne Johnson in a dramatic role and Benny Safdie, who's been crushing a lot lately, and he's a phenomenal filmmaker as well. Him and his brother, the Safdie brothers, they kind of split. They're doing their own projects. His brother, Josh Safdie, has a project, Marty Supreme, coming out later this year. But Benny Safdie, he really did a solid job directing this and making this story, come to life. And you don't have to be a big MMA hardcore sports fan to understand it. You're watching it for the drama, the struggles and the fine acting. And like I said, Dwayne Johnson, he understood the assignment real well. Perfectly embodied Mark Kerr. Emily Blunt, I thought she was really well in the film. Emily Blunt and The Rock, they've acted before. They did a film together before back in 2021, The Jungle Cruise, which they were very good in that one. So Emily Blunt, I mean, she plays Dawn Staples, Mark Kerr's girlfriend. She's very concerned about him. Mark Kerr soon, he has struggles with addiction throughout his career. He wants to get his reputation up in the MMA fighting scene. He's fighting at the 2000 Grand Prize Championship, and he wants to be recognized, as a fighter. He wants to be the next big thing. And his girlfriend, Dawn, played by Blunt, she shows a lot of concern about him for his well-being, his health, and his mental health. And I thought she was really good at the role. I mean, a couple of times, she kind of plays the typical concerned girlfriend of a fighter. But overall, she did a pretty good job, too. But yeah, The Smashing Machine, really enjoyed the film. And like I said, I don't know too much about Mark Kerr. I know that he was an MMA fighter. But other than that, didn't know too much about him going into the movie. So I kind of walked into the movie a little blinded by some of the background. But overall, very, very well put together film. I enjoyed it. Very dramatic. It shows the human side of these fighters outside of the ring, and their everyday struggles. Everybody has struggles. And The Rock, he just perfectly captured that dramatic performance. And I really, really hope he gets recognized. You never know with these award shows, but and at the end of the day, it's not gonna break any huge record, but overall, I think Dwayne Johnson, he gives a knockout performance in this movie. And the makeup, when I first saw the picture, he looked unrecognizable, and he really does a good job, and he really shines bright, and I cannot stress Dwayne Johnson's performance enough, and I really, really am looking forward to seeing him in more dramatic roles, because he took it to another level here, and he is actually one of the best parts of the film, The Smashing Machine. And it's a well-made biopic. Don't go in expecting a whole bunch of hardcore, crazy fight scenes. There are some fight scenes, but nothing too crazy over the top. And it's led well by some good direction, a couple nice shots, and fantastic acting, especially on Johnson's part. So I'm going to go ahead and give The Smashing Machine a B+. go check it out, guys. If you're a Dwayne Johnson fan, it's really good to see him take on a new challenging role, and he really doesn't disappoint. All right, guys, thanks, and stay tuned for our next review here at Rodriguez Review / Real Rap Entertainment.